Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Can we talk with Monique? I am Monique. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please remember to like and subscribe and give me a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And also ring that little bell, and that lets you know when my next uploads are about to come out. So today I want to talk about the Valentine's Day Hoover. For a lot of us, February 14th is Valentine's Day. And we know if you're in a relationship, just coming out of a relationship, or just learning about narcissism, some of their traits, narcissistic personality disorder. One of the things you'll hear people talk about a lot is the Hoover, named after the Hoover vacuum. And as you know, a vacuum kind of sucks you in. And so a lot of times when we are educated, we start to learn, we may leave the situation. Okay, I don't know why that's doing that. But a lot of times we might leave, excuse me for that. A lot of times we might leave a situation that's abusive, verbally, physically, mentally. And we are in the process of learning about these different traits of someone who may have NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, or maybe a narcissist. And we've gone no contact. But what happens is, if you're still in a learning process, they will Hoover you. And just like the vacuum cleaner, the Hoover vacuum, they try to suck you back in. And so with holidays that come around, they do that. But especially Valentine's Day and around this time, tax time, I guess they sense that people are getting money. From what I hear, they Hoover around this time too, around income tax time. And so some of the ways that some of these narcissists will Hoover you, if you start to see strange phone numbers appearing on your phone, personally, I wouldn't answer them. If someone needs you, they'll text you or they'll leave you a message. What they will do is, if you've blocked their number, they will spoof your number and they'll call from like a Google phone, get somebody else's phone number, or call at very weird hours of the night to kind of startle you to, so you're off guard, because usually during the day you're more on guard. But at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, you're not really on guard. And why I know is because these things happened to me. And the narcissist that I was dealing with would call at like ungodly times of the night, like 3 or 4 in the morning, even though I blocked their number. And had been no contact with this person for well over a year, maybe a year and a half. They will call at like 3 or 4 in the morning. They've called from other people's numbers, because if I see their number pop up, it's blocked. But they can get through these blocks. And sometimes they will spoof their number calling from like the Google phone or something like that. They'll try to sweet talk you, send you text messages. I miss you. How could you do this to me? I really do care about you. I love you, please. So they'll try to do anything to Hoover you. They may even show up at your job. They're stalkers too. They stalk you. So they'll stalk you online, social media. So you have to block them there. If they know where you are, they'll stalk your home or get somebody else's car and drive past your house. So just to try to Hoover you back in. So for those people who are just learning about narcissism, just fresh out of the relationship, just try to stay strong. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship with this person. It is not easy at all. And this is for like intimate relationships. But again, during Valentine's Day, they will definitely Hoover you. But try to stay strong. Occupy your time with maybe reading or doing something like exercise just to get through the day. My advice is just change your number, because these people never stop. Like, I've heard of people hoovering people like 25 years later if they can get in contact with you. And these people are stalkers. They'll stalk you on social media. So if you have like a YouTube platform, they will literally subscribe to your channel and sit there and listen to your stuff and to watch you, to see what you're doing. So it's really crazy, but they will hoover you in all type of ways. So this is just a time of year just to be aware. And you know that if you start to see strange numbers, people calling from strange numbers, you know, just let it go to voicemail. And if it's an emergency or something, people will either text you or leave you a message. Typically, they won't. This person never left a message. A couple of times, they woke me up out of my sleep, and I just hung the phone back up. I didn't want to give them additional supply, right? So they want supply. They, you know, feel like, okay, this person doesn't want to deal with me, you know, how dare they, you know, and then they start into other rants. But again, if you're just fresh learning about narcissism, learning about these entities, you know, hoovering is something that you should expect. It doesn't always happen 100% of the time, but I haven't heard of very few occasions where they don't hoover, because they automatically think that, well, especially if you left, they will typically hoover you, and they will hoover you through other people. So my thought process is, you know, lock down your social media, block them off of everything, change your telephone number. And I will say that a lot of people that I dealt with, associates, acquaintances, friends, you know, those people you know, at my own choice, you know, when I looked at their fruit, I dwindled. They kind of dwindled down. I didn't quite associate with these people anymore. But if you have friends that are friends with the narcissist, you know, it may be a tough situation, but you may have to let them go for a little while, or you know, just kind of go no contact with them for a little bit until you can sort things out. But this is the time of year, Friday, February 14th day, Valentine's Day. These narcissists will certainly hoover you just to see if they can get back in. But the bad part about this is, well, the good part is you're made aware. If you're watching this, you're getting educated, and you'll be aware and hopefully equipped. The bad part about it is a lot of times the hoovers do work, and what they will do is, if you fall for their hoover, they will punish you even more and then discard you again. So, and it may not seem like it, but this is they're very predictable, right? The narcissists, one of the things I learned, their behavior, you know, it's like they run on the same movie in their head, right? They, you know, no matter where, what state, what race, what sex, what socioeconomic status, what country, all the narcissists have the same MO. They operate under the same, some are covert, some are overt, some are a mixture of the two, but their playbook is typically the same. You know, some of them are very, very, very smart, and they will try to outsmart and think you, but their playbook is typically the same, right? Their playbook is the same. And so since I've learned about narcissism, I learned about the hoover, and I expected it. I expected it, and I was on guard. I mean, they did catch me off guard at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning when I answered the phone just because I was asleep. But that was what their intention was. It was to catch me off guard. You know, and then they sent me some email about how they miss me so much. Yet this person is, in a relationship with someone else. Go figure. But with that being said, you or whomever, man or woman who's watching this video, you are in a good position, because now you are aware, you're equipped. And so if that hoover does occur, whether it's tomorrow, a year down the line, my hoover didn't happen until maybe 5 or 6 months after no contact. I ignored it. Then 3 months later, they started again. Sometimes it will intensify, but I had to nip that in the bud. I really had to nip that in the bud. But sometimes it will intensify, because it started intensifying and I saw the pattern. I was like, nah, I have to nip this in the bud. So, you know, with those of you guys who have orders of protection, some of these people, they don't even care if you have an order of protection. They will violate that as well. And if you're willing to break the order of protection, then they will be like, okay, they'll go along with it. But, yeah, so basically, the Hoovers don't happen 100% of the time, but they will Hoover you. Um, it's sort of like one of the things I want to say, this picture here, game over, so it's almost like if you're able to withstand a Hoover, the narcissists, of course, like supply, they like attention, they like to win, right? So it's a game to them. But when you're no longer paying them attention, when you no longer fall for the Hoover, they start to realize this here, guys, that the game is over, right? That your heart, you're not that band-aid and that fake phony persona that they have, and the fake apologies. It's not going to mend your heart. So your heart might be broken and you might feel like you're in a lot of despair, just like this picture here. But I'm here to tell you, as time goes on, it gets better, guys. You get back to your old self. You might be thinking now, what happened to me? Where's that old person that I used to know, the person that was laughing, that loved to laugh and joke and have a good time? Well, the narcissist kind of stole that, and we kind of let them steal it, right? And so see that broken heart there with the Band-Aid? It is being mended. Game over for them, but for us, it's the start of our hearts and our souls being mended back together, and us getting back to our own self, our real self. Because when you're with a narcissist, you become something other than your real, authentic self, right? They have no personality. They take over who you really are. They suffocate that loveliness, that life, that goodness out of you, right? So guys, be prepared for the Hoover, because they will definitely Hoover you. It's the time of year, especially Valentine's Day. They will try to see if they can get in any way, any little inkling of weakness. But keep yourself occupied, keep yourself busy, read. I wouldn't say go out, but maybe go do something. Go to the gym, go roller skating, do some Netflix. Don't watch any romantic movies, but watch stuff that's like really funny, stuff that can make you laugh, take your mind off of things. Romantic movies may remind you of that person who's a narcissist. So we want to try to strengthen ourselves. This podcast is intended to encourage you, to uplift you, and to strengthen you in your journey, because definitely it's a journey for all of us who've encountered these entities, and we're going to encounter them again. I had a friend, they're friend Hoovers too. And I'll talk about that. I had some acquaintances, some girlfriends, that when I started learning about narcissism, I kind of cut a whole lot of folks off. And they will Hoover you as well. You just have to, but they use the same MO. It's just like crazy. But once you learn and you see it, things will get better. And those who are fresh out, no contact, I know every day you don't talk to this person, it might be agonizing, but I'm here to tell you, hold on. Every day it gets better. Every day you're not losing your integrity and your soul and your character to this person, right? So hold on. Don't give in to the Hoover. Okay, guys? All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Like and subscribe and share these videos with other people as well, too. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining me on Can We Talk with Monique. Peace.